guys, it's Paradise and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Wilds video and our Weapon Workshop tutorial series. This is a series where we go over everything you want to know about the weapons, from their basic moves all the way to your main combos and recommendations. This includes how the weapons work and the theory behind them. We'll have you covered with a Weapon Workshop tutorial for each of the 14 weapons in the game, but next we're focusing on a weapon that is a fan favorite amongst hunters that have a need for speed. It's considered one of the simpler weapons in the roster, but you would be mistaken to assume that this means it's any less effective. If you like fast, agile gameplay with flashy moves that look straight out of an anime, then look no further than the Dual Blades. The Dual Blades are a great example of simple to learn but hard to master weapons. They offer both lightning fast combos, superior mobility, and perfect evades, making the Dual Blades the ideal choice for both beginners and veterans alike. While other weapons focus on dealing damage with massive hard-hitting attacks, the Dual Blades instead opt for a death by 1,000 cuts playstyle. The rapidness of these attacks, paired with its built-in increase to speed and mobility, make the Dual Blades one of the fastest weapons in the game, especially suited to dishing out abnormal status effects and elemental damage types. Add to that the 3 distinct stances or modes that you will be dancing between in your gameplay, makes this weapon that at first glance looks simple instead becoming a delicate balancing act. New to Wilds is the perfect evade mechanic that rewards you with increased damage for a short time, adding an extra layer of risk and reward. But if you manage your resources carefully and play on the cutting edge with your evades, you'll be well on your way to becoming a Dual Blades master. If you guys do enjoy these videos, then a like, comment, or share would be super appreciated, as we've put a ton of work into each and every one of these guides. Before we get into anything else, the very first concept to understand about the Dual Blades is the 3 different modes available to you. When starting a hunt, you'll be in your default mode. This is your baseline where you are effectively modeless. You're able to access some of your combos, however, your goal will always be to activate and maintain one of the other 2 modes as soon as possible. This is because you don't have access to the powerful buffs, damage, and utility that the other modes give you. While you're in your base form, you're left less effective. To fully benefit from your kit, you'll need to enter Demon Mode, a powerful stance where you'll be doing most of your damage. This has you flip your weapons backwards and take on a stance before you begin to glow with a red hue. You gain several buffs while active, including enhanced evade, faster movement speed, and most importantly, access to a whole new set of potent moves. This all comes at a cost though, as staying in Demon Mode will begin to drain your stamina bar. Deactivating it manually or running out of stamina will immediately end the mode, so in order to maintain its many benefits, you have to watch your stamina bar carefully. Successfully attacking a monster in Demon Mode will gradually cause your demon gauge to fill up. This can be seen on the left side of your screen and is used as another resource for some of your mechanics. This is also the key to your 3rd and final mode. By filling the bar completely, your demon gauge will begin to glow, allowing you to access Archdemon Mode. This replaces your basic mode when you deactivate Demon Mode, at least as long as you still have demon gauge remaining, and is kind of like a middle ground between being modeless and being in Demon Mode. It allows you to access some of your powerful Demon Mode moves without the constant stamina drain. Instead, each time you use one of these moves, you'll spend a portion of your demon gauge, which also slowly drains over time. So in order to get the most out of this weapon, you'll want to quickly build up your gauge at the start of a hunt using Demon Mode, allowing you to access your more powerful moves. And then as your stamina gets low, you want to switch into Archdemon Mode to keep the pressure on while you regenerate that stamina. Mastering this delicate balancing act between the 2 modes is crucial if you want to play the Dual Blades well. On top of this, you want to keep as much uptime on your perfect evade buff as possible. This is called Demon Boost Mode, and it's an important mode for your overall damage. Pulling these off consistently requires good knowledge of different monsters' movesets, so there's a ton of room for veteran players to really show off their knowledge when playing the Dual Blades. If you want to get straight to hunting, here's a general rundown of the flow of the weapon as well as some combos to get you started. Starting the fight, you'll want to press R2 to enter Demon Mode. This allows you to start building up your demon gauge, giving you more options and letting you better manage your stamina. Then engage the monster with your Demon Flurry Rush by pressing circle, and circle again for a Roundslash. This is a great string to get into the habit of using whenever the monster moves, so you can keep on top of things and reposition to where you need to be. Continue this combo by pressing triangle 3 times, giving you Demon Fangs, Twofold, and then Sixfold Demon Slash. Doing this combo is a great way to max out your demon gauge, and it's incredibly versatile, being able to be looped and dodged out of with ease. Once your gauge is full, you'll now be able to start balancing between using stamina or your demon gauge to keep up your attacks. When you're running low on stamina, switch into Archdemon Mode and give it a chance to replenish. While in Archdemon Mode, it's a good idea to focus on activating your Demon Mode boost, which can be done by perfectly evading an incoming attack. Be mindful of your demon gauge here though, as each time you evade in Archdemon Mode, you'll use a small chunk of it. Once your stamina is back up, switch into Demon Mode and top up your demon gauge. When you have a good amount of demon gauge and a sufficient opening, you'll want to use your Demon Dance combo in order to maximize your damage output. You can do this by pressing triangle plus circle while in Demon Mode, which will start you off in Blade Dance 1. You can press R2 near the end of this combo step to deactivate Demon Mode and automatically follow up with Demon Flurry 1. From here, you can keep pressing R2 to cycle between Blade Dance 2, Demon Flurry 2, and finally Blade Dance 3. Blade Dance 3 is the most devastating section of this combo, but also leaves you vulnerable in the animation for a long time, so make sure to only use this part of it when you have sufficient time. Also note that Demon Flurry 1 and 2 are both shorter filler moves of this combo, but they can be used to reposition around the monster by holding a direction on the left stick, so be sure to take advantage of this in order to stay safe mid-combo. Also make sure to utilize focus mode with L2 as often as possible, allowing you to aim your attacks much easier. The Demon Dance combo in particular benefits greatly from this, as you cannot turn while performing each step without it. While in focus mode, be sure to utilize your focus strike as well. This allows you to exploit wounds, creating openings by toppling the monster and letting you use your awesome Heavenly Blade Dance move that travels down the full length of the monster as you attack. The grapple hook portion of the move also makes you immune to damage, so don't be afraid to use your focus strike on a wound when things get a bit hairy. More advanced players will be performing a balancing act throughout this whole process, making sure their Demon Boost mode is up as much as possible, while keeping uptime on both Demon and Archdemon modes. This brief rundown will help you get part of the way there if you just want to go hunting, but if you want to truly master the dual blades, be sure to keep watching for a more in-depth look at all of the moves. In your default mode, you have access to your basic triangle combo by pressing triangle 3 times. You'll perform a flurry of attacks that hit for 7 times in total. This is more or less your go-to whenever you're in your base mode, although as mentioned, you won't want to be here for long. Pressing circle will perform a lunging strike, which is a low damage move that you'll mainly be using to reposition or engage with a monster. This can be done out of your triangle combo, and you can hold a direction on the left stick in order to immediately turn that way. Using this in focus mode will cause you instead to step in the direction you hold, which can be useful for repositioning while keeping the monster in your sight. This move is only available in your base mode though, so hopefully you won't be using this all too often. Pressing circle again after a lunging strike will perform a Roundslash. This is a directional slash that can reach up high, which is useful for getting damage on a monster's head or tail. By default, the Roundslash aims towards the upper left diagonal side of your hunter, but by holding right on the stick you will perform a mirrored version instead. Finally, you have the Rising Slash, a quick overhead swipe that can be used by pressing triangle after an evade or a lunging strike. This is mainly used to cancel out of the end lag of these moves, and from there you can flow into the rest of your moveset. Now let's take a look at your focus strike. Holding down L2 will enter focus mode, and pressing R1 will perform Turning Tide, a jumping overhead slash with both of your blades. This can be difficult to aim as you lunge forwards, but hitting a wound with this attack will see you grab the side of the monster, slash rapidly for great damage before leaping into the air. From here you'll automatically grapple to the monster, swinging towards either its head or tail. You'll finish with a Heavenly Blade Dance, an iconic move that has you spin down the entirety of the monster's spine, dealing damage and breaking wounds as you go. This move has many interesting properties, such as complete invincibility during the grapple animation, making this a great move for getting out of a tight spot. It also lets you build your demon gauge rapidly if you pull it off, and on top of that, performing the move in demon mode will stop your stamina draining for its duration, meaning using focus mode on wounds just before you're about to run out is a great way to reset your stamina. Pressing R2 will activate your demon mode, and as mentioned, it will provide a ton of benefits at the cost of your stamina bar. This can be done before unsheathing your weapons, letting you draw directly into demon mode. Once active, you'll gain a small increase to your running speed, and pressing evade no longer rolls, but instead causes you to do a quicker, slightly shorter ranged dash. Your main benefit to demon mode though is your enhanced moveset that we'll go over now. Your basic triangle combo is replaced with a quicker, harder hitting version. Pressing triangle 3 times will have you do a flurry of attacks that ends in a high damage X-cut motion. This sequence is not only great for damage, but also for building your demon gauge. It takes a total of 2 rotations to fully max it out. In between each attack, you can step to your left or right by holding left or right on the analog stick, which will give you either the left or right fade slash. As you complete a fade slash, you'll pick up where you left off in your triangle combo, eventually completing it with your sixfold demon slash. This means there is now room for only 2 fade slashes per triangle combo, but these are still an invaluable tool for repositioning or extending your combo ever so slightly. Pressing circle will give you Demon Flurry Rush, a helicopter spin attack that can also be used as a gap closer. Depending on how much you tilt your left stick, you'll either stay on the spot or move in that direction. This is useful as while it's a powerful repositioning tool, you can still use Demon Flurry Rush on the spot, making it easier to incorporate into your combos. Pressing circle after this will give you a Roundslash as before, and pressing circle again will do a double Roundslash. This deals slightly more damage than the first, and is a great way to apply more pressure to those hard to reach targets. It does however have a long end lag period, leaving you vulnerable and making it harder to flow into your other abilities, so we wouldn't recommend spamming it unless you have good reason. Each and every one of these moves contributes to your demon gauge, and once full your gauge will begin to glow, giving you access to Archdemon Mode. When you deactivate your regular demon mode, this will instead drop you into Archdemon Mode if that gauge is full, which you can tell by the white aura around your character. While in Archdemon Mode, you'll have access to some of your demon mode moves, but they come at the cost of your demon gauge. These mainly include your Demon Flurry Rush on circle, letting you reposition more effectively, as well as having the empowered evade. Otherwise, things are essentially the same as your base mode, so it's best to use Archdemon Mode as a sort of downtime period between your next demon mode use, which will give you time to regenerate your stamina, all the while keeping pressure on the monster with your empowered moveset. While in Demon or Archdemon Mode, evading just as a monster hits you will cause you to perform a perfect evade. This will dodge through the attack and deal damage as you do so. This activates your Demon Boost, a 24-second buff that causes you to glow a blue color while increasing your damage by around 20%. It is worth keeping this buff up as much as possible as it does a ton of damage. While active, your evades also deal damage to anything around you, which will add up as you evade to reposition. Pressing triangle after a Demon Boost evade will perform the Screw Slicer, a second, further reaching dash that does great damage. This is an amazing option if you want to rapidly reposition around the monster. Further perfect evades while Demon Boost is already active will partially refresh the duration up to 2 times. The first time you refresh the buff will replenish an extra 7 seconds on top, and the second will only give you 4 seconds. After this point, performing a perfect evade will not further increase its duration. Now it's time to talk about one of the Dual Blade's strongest moves, Blade Dance, or Demon Dance as it's usually called in the community. It's a powerful, lengthy combo that has been a staple throughout the franchise. This time around though, instead of being one whole string, it's split into 3 different sections, Blade Dance 1 to 3. Pressing triangle and circle at the same time while in Demon Mode will start the Blade Dance 1, which is a powerful 12-hit string. Pressing triangle and circle a second time will give you Blade Dance 2, a jumping spinning slash, and pressing them a third and final time will activate Blade Dance 3. This move is by far the lengthiest and most damaging section. This combo will be one of your best damage dealing options, but it's also when you're at your most vulnerable. This is because Blade Dance 1 and 3 especially are quite long in their animations. Because of this, your best bet is to utilize Blade Dance whenever you have the longer openings, such as topples on monsters, or at the end of big attacks that have a long recovery time. Each portion of the combo uses up some of your demon gauge, so running out before you can finish will interrupt your flow. Trying to use a Blade Dance when you don't have gauge will result in you starting with the downward slash, but being unable to continue with the combo. Dropping out of Demon Mode by running out of stamina will also stop you from continuing the next part of the combo, so you have to make sure you have both Demon Gauge and stamina before trying to pull this off. You need around a quarter of your Demon Gauge to get through the entire combo, so keep that in mind. Pressing triangle and circle in Archdemon Mode will instead give you Demon Flurry, a shorter, weaker version of Blade Dance that only has 2 parts. But something that is super interesting about this version of the move is that holding down a direction on the left stick will cause you to lunge, giving Demon Flurry much more mobility than its Demon Mode counterpart. Now, wouldn't it be perfect if you could do both of these moves together, utilizing the high damage of Blade Dance with the mobility of the Demon Flurry? Well, we're in luck because Wilds lets us do exactly that. In Demon Mode, after starting Blade Dance 1 with triangle and circle, you can press R2 to switch back into Archdemon Mode, which will automatically perform Demon Flurry 1. If done while holding down a direction, this lets you reposition, at which point you can press R2 to switch back into Demon Mode, and conveniently this instantly combos into Blade Dance 2, effectively causing your R2 input mid-combo to switch you back and forth between the modes, automatically continuing the combo as is appropriate to the mode you're swapping into. So from Blade Dance 2, you can go into Demon Flurry 2, and then from here back into Blade Dance 3. This lets you combine both finishing moves into one with a 5-input combo that deals a ton of damage, all the while letting you reposition during the Demon Flurry sections. This lets you play much riskier with this move than if you were to just do Blade Dance. But pair this with the fact that you can mix in evades after each section of the combo, and you've found one of your go-to damaging combos. Of course, this requires a ton of resources to pull off back to back, so the rest of your gameplay should focus around building enough gauge to do this. You're going to need just under half your Demon Gauge in order to do the entire thing between both modes. Now let's take a look at some of your more situational options and various aerial attacks. Evading off a ledge while in your base mode will let you leap into the air briefly. Pressing triangle during this will do a jumping double slash, a simple downward slash that builds mount damage on the monster. While doing this in Demon or Archdemon mode, you will instead result in a mid-air spinning Blade Dance. If you align this with a monster's spine, it will take you into your impressive Heavenly Blade Dance spine attack. If you press triangle before making contact with a monster though, you'll instead do a spinning Blade Dance finisher, spinning through the air before hitting the ground with a spinning slash. This lets you redirect your trajectory mid-air, but won't trigger the Heavenly Blade Dance. Sprinting off of a ledge in Archdemon mode will give you the opportunity to do a jumping double slash, meaning you can perform both moves, the mid-air spinning Blade Dance and jumping double slash while in Archdemon mode. While mounted on a monster's back, you can press R1 to do your mount attack. This results in a flurry of slashes that will gradually open up wounds. Using this attack on a red wound that's been opened will result in doing your mount finisher, a flashy attack that sees you jump into the air before slamming down on the monster, spinning like a chainsaw blade. When it comes to slopes, pressing circle will put you into a sliding slash, which can then be followed up by a mid-air spinning Blade Dance. Running into a climbable wall will let you jump off of it, leading into your jumping double slash when in your basic mode, or mid-air spinning Blade Dance when in Demon mode. And finally, while you're on your Seikret, pressing triangle does your riding attack, a simple combo of sweeping attacks. Pressing X will cause you to jump into the air, giving you the opportunity to do a jumping slash, which is ideal for mounting. Pressing triangle and circle together will perform your dismount attack though, which is a fast-paced spinning move that has the strange property of letting you pass through monsters. This can be very useful if you need to get to the other side of larger monsters without running all the way around them. Before we move on though, let's take a look at some combos that will be helpful in your journey to learning the dual blades. There are multiple good options for quickly building up your Demon Gauge depending on the situation. The easiest way will be to loop your Sixfold Demon Slash combo twice. There is some end lag that stops you from doing this smoothly, so you can connect the two with a Demon Flurry Rush by pressing circle. If you need more mobility, pressing circle for Demon Flurry Rush and then triangle 3 times will give you Rising Slash, Demon Fangs, and 2-fold Demon Slash. This takes a bit longer than the other options, but it keeps you incredibly mobile, making it a safer choice. Next, we have an option that mixes the strength of the last two together. Start by entering Demon Mode with R2, and press circle to use Demon Flurry Rush, closing the gap. From here, you want to press circle for a single round slash, before cancelling into your triangle combo. After your Sixfold Demon Slash, immediately cancel into another Demon Flurry Rush with Circle. Assuming you did this correctly, you should fill your Demon Gauge, activating Archdemon Mode and allowing you to start building up for your powerful Blade Dance combo. If you were too far away from the monster, you can also throw in a Roundslash at the end to make up for that last part of the bar. Of course, from here, you could in theory loop the entire combo as many times as you wish or need to. Your Demon Dance combo is next. Start off with R2 for Demon Mode and make sure you have at least half your Demon Gauge built up. But once you do, press triangle and circle together to begin your Blade Dance. Once that's done, pressing R2 will drop you into Archdemon Mode, triggering Demon Flurry 1. Remember that holding a direction at this point will allow you to reposition, which is a good idea to do if the monster is actively attacking. R2 again will take you into Blade Dance 2, and then once again for Demon Flurry 2. Sometimes it can be best to stop here if you don't have the sufficient opening, but if you do, your final R2 press will bring you into your final Blade Dance 3. In some cases, it can be more beneficial to drop Blade Dance 1 from the combo instead in order to fit Blade Dance 3 into a smaller opening. So consider opening the combo from Archdemon Mode if you want to do this. A good tip to know is that you can actually cancel Blade Dance 3 by evading before your character finishes their backflip. But once you begin jumping into the air, you are locked in place for better or worse until that attack is done. While in Archdemon Mode, it's a good idea to keep the pressure on the monster as you wait for your stamina to regen. This next combo is a good way to do this without using up too much of your Demon Gauge. Pressing Circle will perform your Demon Flurry Rush, which is the only part of this combo that uses your gauge. From here, you want to do a Roundslash with Circle before cancelling into your Triangle combo. Once you're at the end of your combo with Circle Slash, immediately cancel into another Demon Flurry Rush and rinse and repeat. This can also be done in your base mode, although the Demon Flurry Rush will be replaced with your Lunging Strike. Now let's take a look at some of the skills that we recommend for the Dual Blades. First up, we have Burst, which increases your raw and elemental damage when you start hitting a monster, which racks up even more after your 5th hit. The main drawback with Burst is that you have to keep it active with rapid attacks, which the Dual Blades excels at. Adrenaline Rush is next and gives you increased damage when perfect evading. Given perfectly timed evades are crucial to activating your Demon Boost buff, you'll be activating Adrenaline Rush at the same time anyway. The Element or Status up skills are a fantastic choice for Dual Blades, as it's one of the premier weapons for applying these types of damage. This is essentially due to the fact that the Dual Blades are so fast hitting. Critical hit and damaging skills like Critical Eye, Critical Boost, and Critical Element are all nice to have. Although these have been slightly nerfed compared to previous games, they are still nice to have, but your mileage may vary. If you're looking for more quality of life skills, we've got you covered as well. Focus allows you to build your Demon Gauge much faster. Power Prolonger may not be super obvious, but it actually slightly boosts the duration of both your Idle Gauge Drain and your Demon Boost mode, making it much more reliable to keep uptime high. Sharpness skills like Razor Sharp, Handicraft, and Protective Polish are incredibly valuable on the Dual Blades, as with your fast attack speed, you will burn through sharpness quite fast, so these help mitigate that. Stamina management is a vital part of the Dual Blades, so skills can help with that too. Constitution is fantastic for lowering the impact that evading has on your stamina. Marathon Runner, on the other hand, makes the drain of Demon Mode much less noticeable. Finally, Stamina Surge lets you maximize your stamina regen once you go back into Archdemon Mode and out of Demon Mode. Now let's go over some tips and tricks to help you master the Dual Blades. It really can't be overstated how important it is to watch your stamina. While it can be tempting to let the bar burn fully down in Demon Mode, this isn't the best idea as it stops you being able to evade. Be sure to end your Demon Mode slightly early so that you can still perfect evade any surprise attacks coming your way. Ideally, you want to know a monster's attack pattern inside out, but the reality is that's a lengthy process as you play the game. In the meantime, look out for monster moves that have predictable tells or are easily dodged. These will be extra important to you as you want to utilize those moves to activate your Demon Boost mode with a perfect evade. Things like Rathalos Fireballs, Rathian Tail Swipes, and other monster slams are heavily telegraphed moves that serve this purpose, so make sure to use those moves to activate your Demon Boost mode. Using Focus Mode with L2 will give you much greater control over your aim, letting you aim with moves that would otherwise be locked mid-animation, even including your Blade Dance. This is useful for making sure all of your damage hits the intended target and ideally the intended weak point. It's always a good idea to bring Dash Juice with you out on hunts, and while they're less potent than they were in previous games, Dash Juice will still make your hunting life easier by lowering the stamina cost of your evades. The Dual Blades tend to do their best as either elemental DPS weapons or rapid build-up for status support, so it's good to know exactly what the monster you intend to fight is weak to and which part of the monster to focus on attacking. This is the key difference between feeling like you do less damage than everyone else and absolutely destroying the monster. Thank you so much for watching. We truly hope this guide helps you on your way to mastering the Dual Blades in Monster Hunter Wilds. We encourage you to take what you've learnt here out into the field and experiment with different elements and statuses to find the playstyle that works for you. For now, we'll leave you with a last bit of wisdom. The road to becoming a better hunter is a marathon, not a sprint. So keep on honing those skills, and I'll see you out on the field. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 2-6.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.